A very warm welcome to Art Gallery Explorer, the vlog that explores and celebrates the London art scene. Coming up, now, when I think of Giuseppe Penone, the Italian artist born in 1947, I think of one material beyond all others, and that is obviously wood. A bit like David Nash, actually, one of my favourite UK-based contemporary artists. Penone, who was born in Piedmont in northern Italy and grew up in the countryside surrounded by forests and mountains, has always produced art which interrogates mankind's relationship with nature. And oh wow, I'm just coming into view of the Serpentine. If I just spin you round, and I'm seeing some of the first works outside here. These trees, and I imagine they're not actually trees, are seeming to defy nature by holding these huge rocks in them. This is a classic Penone technique. He was one of the youngest members, as I say, of the Arte Povera movement in Italy, and the Arte Povera movement was all about making the focus all on materials, often recycled materials or materials that have been adapted from something else. I don't even know yet what this piece of art is called, but it's certainly spectacular and, as I say, gravity defying. And over there I can see another tree with bronze shooting out of it. Hopefully you can see that in the distance. You know what that reminds me of a little bit, actually? The Albert Memorial, in terms of the gold at the top. We're going to find out a little bit more about what these works are, and I'll come out and explore them properly in a minute. But this show is entitled Thoughts in Roots. It's on all the way till the 7th of September. As with all shows at the Serpentine, it is free. You can simply rock up and explore. So come and join me as we explore this really intriguing sounding survey show. And often at the very generous Serpentine, there's a fantastic free guide which taught me what I needed to know about this exhibition. The first work that confronts us as we enter the gallery is entitled in English, With Eyes Closed. And this explores the relationship between sight and the act of closing one's eyes, an enduring theme in Penone's work. And there are numerous acacia thorns, as you can see here, which trace and represent closed eyes, synthesizing our senses, according to the exhibition, in connection with nature. And this is kind of like an aesthetically beautiful but also surprising work, enhanced by the unique use of materials. Two smaller works opposite make a nice link between Penone's early practice and the present day. 8,046 days in the sky, which you're looking at here, refer to the number of days since he was born, and we could work out, quick bit of maths, he was 22 when he produced that first work, whereas this one, 28,490 days in the sky, was produced in 2025 and was means he's now 78. And yeah, they're just stenciled on repeatedly around the two works made in wood, which you can see here. At the heart of the gallery and the heart of the show is this work, To Breathe the Shadow. It's a sensory installation because you have to imagine the smell that these thousands and thousands of laurel leaves emit as you walk around this installation. In fact, you're drawn to them and the smell from all over the gallery. Penone has explored the concept of breath as a sculpture through different materials. And in this work, there's a gold cast sculpture of a human lung mounted on the wall at an average adult's height, while the scent of laurel leaves permeate the gallery. And to the artist, leaves perform the vital act of producing oxygen for all living beings, while also providing shade. Within this room is also book trees, because the vegetal world is central to Penone's work. And he constructs his trees by carving away the outer rings of mature timber layer by layer. And this process reveals the knots left by branches, exposing how the tree once appeared before it was felled. Penone describes this approach as an intimate exploration. to penetrate into the intimate history of the wood, carved by days of sunshine, rain, snow, frost, and encounters with other living forms, contacts with insects, animals, accidents, shocks, incisions, wounds, and the caress of other plants, is an idea which only a thought close to the material can develop. The book trees are created using the same technique but with white fir, cedar, larch, and wood. And this sculpture consists of 12 calf saplings placed side by side, serving as a tangible record of time. This work further investigates the relationship between nature and the body. Here, Penone uses organic materials to record his own breath. He lay on this heap of boxwood leaves, breathing air into them. The imprint of his body can be seen, and the breath is left on the leaves, recording traces of his physical presence. The work Pressure builds on a process that Penone first developed in the 1970s, with works from the series To Enroll One's Skin, in which he captured imprints of his skin by pressing Integrin charcoal covered adhesive tape onto his body. This method preserved the fine lines and creases of his skin in almost photographic detail. And in this work, these imprints were enlarged, projected onto the gallery walls, and then meticulously traced by hand in graphite. The works are called Pressure because they not only reveal intimately the artist's skin, but also the varying pressures exerted both in the original imprinting process and also in the act of drawing itself. As Penone reflects, skin, like the eye, is a boundary element, the endpoint capable of dividing and separating us from what surrounds us. It is the point that allows me, still and after all, to recognize myself. The work Vegetal Gaze sees a black and white self-portrait, a photograph of Penone with branches piercing through his eyes. And for me, this work was clearly further exploring the direct and intimate link between the human body and nature, and especially the way that Penone views nature directly and feels connected with it. Verde del Bosco, or Forest Green, shows Penone's experiment with unrolling one's skin, extending beyond the human body to the vegetal world. These works depict a lush forest, and they're created by imprinting the surfaces of tree bark, branches, and leaves onto a canvas. And in the process, Penone wraps natural cotton fibers around the tree trunks of living trees and creates frottage rubbings using the leaves. The distinctive furrows of the bark are transferred and recorded onto the fabric, forming the foundation of the rich vegetation in these drawings. The differing colours reflect the different seasons, from vibrant, fresh spring leaves to the reddish browns of aging autumn foliage. And I really like these works. These were certainly some of my favourites in the whole exhibition. Vegetal Gestures is a series of sculptures which you can hopefully see here, exploring the symbiotic relationship between natural forms and the human body. Benoni first conceived the series in the 80s, creating drawings for this work by tracing movements of the human body with fluid brushstrokes. These shapes, as you can see there, were then moulded into clay and finally cast in bronze, a material that through oxidization takes on the colour of tree bark. And in this installation, 3 bronze sculptures are placed amongst plant pots, intertwined with living vegetation. And the plan is that these works will keep growing throughout the exhibition and reach out into Kensington Gardens beyond. There are a series of other works which I'll leave you to explore because they're pretty self-explanatory before joining you outside to explore those wonderful outdoor works. The spectacular thunderstruck tree is based on a 100-year-old willow tree that grew in Belgium. After being struck by lightning, its trunk split at the centre, laying bare the internal material of the wood. Penone cast the tree in bronze and lined its pulp with gold leaf, capturing the invisible force of nature that sculpted its splintered shape and complex internal structure. The other major work, Outdoors, Ideas of Stone, explores the relationship between river stones and human thought. In these sculptures, river stones of varying sizes, as you can see, are placed on the forks of the bronze tree branches, and Penone describes the work as an idea that is formed, summing up innumerable previous thoughts, polished by the passage of time, compacted by the weight of memories, cracked by doubts and by the uncertainties that situate themselves between the thoughts, separating them. It's a river stone that appears amid the branches of trees. That was pretty much every single work from Giuseppe Penone's Thoughts in the Roots from the Serpentine Gallery in London. So if you weren't able to visit this largest ever UK survey of his work, then hopefully that's given you a real sense of it. And if you are thinking of going, and I highly recommend that you do, then it won't spoil it, because part of the experience of being there is a sensory experience, especially the smell of that main Laurel Leaf installation, which means that you have to go to experience that. So do get along there if you possibly can. I consider myself a bit of an environmentalist. As I say, it's not surprising. I really enjoy art that engages with the natural world. David Nash is one of my favourite UK contemporary artists, and I really enjoyed the Anna Galascio show that I bought you last year from Turner Contemporary. And so with that in mind, it's not surprising that I was thrilled with this show and really got a lot out of it. I always think about these shows in terms of the good, the bad, and the beautiful. And if we start with the good, the Serpentine Gallery is the perfect space in London to host this show. It's surrounded by hundreds of acres of verdant parkland. The trees and grass and plants often spill in through the windows, it feels like, as you're going round the gallery. And this is true of this show as well. The space surrounding Serpentine South is perfect for the grand outdoor works, which are vast in size, and you can really appreciate those from lots of different angles because of the space afforded to them. And one work, Vegetal Gestures, is apparently, as the plants grow, going to spill out of the gallery into the park. So there's going to be a double dialogue there. The beautiful views we see through the windows are going to be complemented by some of Penone's work actually joining the parkland. So I really enjoyed all of that. Secondly, when it comes to the work itself, much of the work is stunningly beautiful. Lots of it is quiet work, and it's asking us to contemplate humankind's relationship with nature. And you are forced to almost, I felt myself slowing down, moving away from the screen-based world I often find myself living in. And I am aware of the irony of saying that, looking into a screen, producing a video which I'm going to upload to YouTube, which you will view on a screen. But this was all about thinking about the planet and the natural world that sustains us in different ways. And I really found myself doing that through these very powerful works. I love the different mediums that he uses: charcoal, the canvas, the frottage on canvas, the laurel leaves, the trees themselves. I found it a really diverse experience, even though the theme was quite focused. So I really enjoyed that a lot and found it excellent. In terms of the bad, I always feel that the artists engaging with nature are fighting somewhat of a losing battle, because nature will always be more spectacular, more aesthetically daring, and more, dare I say, aesthetically pleasing than works produced by humankind. And that was true of Penone, as it is with lots of artists, I find. I really enjoyed his work, don't get me wrong. But take the works outside, Thunderstruck Tree and Ideas of Stone. I found myself looking at the trees surrounding them and being as awestruck by them as I was by the works produced by Penone. And I suppose in a way that's part of the point of his works, as I said in the good, to sort of reevaluate and rethink about our relationship with nature. And finally, in terms of this being the largest ever UK survey of Giuseppe Penone's work, I'd love to have seen a little bit more background documentation, maybe some photos of his work from the early 60s, well documented, when he was engaging really directly with the Arte Povera movement. That would have sort of given us a greater, more rounded understanding of him as an artist. But I'm also aware the Serpentine Gallery doesn't often go down that route. So, and that was only a minor quibble. In terms of the beautiful, I really enjoyed three works in particular. I love Thunderstruck Tree because I was surprised at how well it communicated with the Albert Memorial with the gold on top of both. And they're so aesthetically diametrically opposite, like the Arte Povera use of materials compared to the Albert Memorial. But it worked really well. I'd actually seen Thunderstruck Tree, a photo of a Thunderstruck Tree, I should say, at Versailles, where it fitted perfectly, and it fitted really well in Hyde Park as well. So I love that. The second work I found really beautiful was this one, With Eyes Closed. It's the first work you see as you enter the gallery, and from afar it looks a very calm, beautiful work. But the closer you get, you realise it's a work made up of thorns. It's a prickly work. So I love that surprise from the use of the materials. That was excellent. And my third final favourite aesthetically was Verde del Bosco, Forest Green. I love this frottage on the canvas. I just loved it aesthetically. If I had a big enough house, which I don't, this would certainly be draped on my walls. So overall, I really did enjoy this exhibition. I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. And in the title of this vlog, I asked, is this the best free exhibition in London this year? And I do think that when you combine it with the Arpita Singh show at Serpentine North, the answer is absolutely yes. They're both relatively small shows. I'm going to be covering the Arpita Singh show very soon. I've filmed it. I was visited it on the same day. I'm going to be editing it and putting it together over the next week or so. But when you combine these together, the biggest ever UK survey of work by one of Italy's most important contemporary artists, and then the UK's first ever retrospective of one of India's most important artists, both being free, then it is a stunningly powerful combination, even though they're aesthetically very different and don't really talk to each other. So yes, together they are the best show. I'm pretty sure they'll be the best free show in London this year. 8 out of 10, I think, for the Penone show is really fair for the reasons I've explained. And do get along there if you're in Hyde Park. Thank you ever so much for watching. Do subscribe to Art Gallery Explorer for more reviews of shows from across London, the southeast of England and beyond.